Hi guys.
Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some maintenance stuff.
Yes, we have a lot of maintenance to do, right? There's some perennials around our garden that we want to encourage more growth, so we need to cut those back. All right, let's get going on our first plant.
All right guys, we're this way.
Now we can look at pretty things along the way.
Look at we got a canna lily right here we just got this year. Look how big this has gotten
so
too.
Vibrant.
It started out like this big this year, and look at it now. It keeps just continuing to bloom.
And our Cheyenne spirit, which, sorry, some of it, yeah, that looks a little ratty, but we've got some beautiful new growth coming in.
Yep, so
turning around here.
Yep, so
where are we going?
Come on over this way. We're going to look at these high country garden plants that we got last year. All right, so moving on, we've got a nepeta, and you can see it's looking okay. It's got some crispy pieces to it. It's got some discoloration right here, some dieback. We can clean this up this time of year and get it to look a lot more vibrant. And the way you do that is just find these older stems, these ones that look crispy or they're just starting to discolor. Find them, come down here if you can, right there, and just, you don't have to go all the way to the ground, but just find that stem, get your clippers, and just cut them right out. And we can just nicely go down and just singly select these out. And this is really gonna clean this up for us.
It already looks better.
Yeah, see, it's just one of those things where it's just one of those little things you can do to come into your garden and just little snip here, little snip there, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Now while Sean's clipping the rest of that, this is called Select Blue Nepeta. This is again from High Country Garden. And we have, what, 2 or 3 of them, I think, sprinkled throughout. We probably should have showed you this. We have this trough of plants, and we have this barrel planter right here, and then we have this trough planter back here. These are all from the same set of plants, all from High Country Garden. So it's a drought-tolerant mix.
Yep, the Jumbo Water-Wise West Coast pre-planned garden.
Yeah, we've been real happy with them. We've got coreopsis is in bloom again, so that's pretty.
Yep, and we're gonna give that a little haircut here too. Now, when you're going through and doing this, you're making room for all the other growth that's a lot healthier here. You're making more room for it to fill in and grow into. So it's another good reason to do this, not just because of it helps it look better, but it also creates new areas to grow into and gives the plant a area to really fill out into. So next up is this coreopsis. You can see it's still blooming. It's still got these beautiful, delicate little flowers. But we've got a whole bunch of dead flowers in here that we should pretty much deadhead out of here, but it would take us forever to deadhead each individual little flower out of here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the level where there's new flowers coming in, maybe about, whoa, there's a bee, maybe about halfway here, because I can see in here, right about here, about halfway on all this growth, there's little flowers getting ready to flower again. And there's more of them in throughout this canopy down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna give this a haircut. And it's okay to do this. It's kind of out of control anyway, so we're controlling the growth on this. We're getting rid of most of the dead flowers on this plant that have just stayed on here since this spring when this first started flowering. And we're gonna reinvigorate the plant to get even more brand new little flowers just like these, a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna come in here and just grab a handful, start cutting. And again, this is going to reinvigorate this. This is going to give it a whole new flush of growth. We're going to keep up the watering, especially this time of year. It's been dry here, so we're going to keep up all the watering we've been doing and keep an eye on it to make sure that it gets enough water, it's getting enough TLC, so we can keep continuing to see the new growth and these new flowers that are going to be coming in. How's that look?
Looks good. Now we've got this one over here. Right? Now there's been an animal laying in here, by the way. We forgot to point that out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like flat right there, but it must make a really nice bed at night.
Yep, they like it. They keep coming back and laying.
They do.
Now, you might have noticed back here, let me close these off so they don't open up. You might have noticed back here, this artemisia back here. Now, this is Powys Castle silver sage, and this is beautiful. It's a type of artemisia. Can you get in there? Yeah. Okay. Now, you might be thinking, well, hey, you're cutting everything else back. Why don't you cut that back? And we could cut it back. And what would happen is if we cut it back about halfway, get in here, I'll show you down in here. This is kind of, it's a little woody down here. There's places right here along the stem where it could break bud and regrow all this silvery, beautiful growth. But if we do that, you're going to see a lot more of this kind of deadish growth too, this older growth from earlier this year. And we really don't want to do that. This plant by itself right now isn't hurting anything. It's not overgrowing a lot of the plants in here. We've already trimmed it back. So we really don't need to do anything with it. You can, but if you do, make sure to understand that you're going to see a lot of sticks and you're going to see a lot of older, deadish, kind of droopy looking growth from earlier the year for a little bit until it regrows. So, all right. So you can see here, we've got some agastache here. This is hummingbird mint. We've got some here. We've got some here. These blooms, this is the second flush of flowers on all of this agastache. And so, but look how beautiful that is. It's just gorgeous. And that was a huge flower.
I just love the colors too. It's like an orangey pink.
Yep. And this is definitely a hummingbird attractor. They love these plants. There's so many different flowers with that flute, that long tube that they love to get in there and get that pollen and that nectar. So on these, we can deadhead these and they'll give us at least one more flush of flowers. So you can see right here, we've got this cluster of flowers right here. Just below it, there's a few more flowers right here at these two axils here. But if you come down here, these are just starting to grow. They've got these main leaves here, and then in those leaf axils along here on the stem, there's new leaves forming. We can get new flowers from these places right here, from these axils. All we got to do is just follow this down and cut right above that. These are going to grow back out with more stems for these new flowers to then come up and grow on the tips of, like these old flowers did. So if you can imagine, this will come off of here like this, and you'll have two of them right here. They're going to be a little bit smaller, but they're definitely going to be a new flush of growth. So we can just go through and do the same thing again, like right here. Come down, right here's, you can see those leaves right there. The new stems are going to grow off there, and on the very end, on the terminal end of each one of those stems will be new flowers. And so there we go. So you can just go around this whole plant and just keep doing that. So now you can see here, this one's going to be a little trickier because what we have here is, here's our main stem. There's a flower here. There were flowers here. This has been pruned. I can already tell that's been pruned off. There was some growth here. I don't really know what's going on here. Now, right in here on this leaf axil, there's going to be, no, that's where that new stem is growing from. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, and I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to come down past this flower right here, and I'm going to say we can cut it down here, or we could cut it here, but then we still have this old flower on here. But this side doesn't have a flower on it yet, but that stem will. I'm going to come down here off this tricky one, and I'm just going to restart the whole process. I'm going to cut it there, and what we've got is, now we'll have a new flower from here and from here in a couple more weeks.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope that was really helpful for you.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything we showed you for cutting back the perennials for that next flush of growth before winter sets in, and if you have any questions about deadheading any of the plants we showed you or other plants, definitely let us know down in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely do it, because then you won't miss our latest updates on our videos.
All right, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video,
See you
guys. Bye.
Bye.